In today's video, we're continuing our coverage on Deadpool 3, aka Deadpool and Wolverine. So over the last couple of days, there's been some pretty wild rumors, reports going around of some pretty big actors appearing in a small capacity in Deadpool 3. So I've waited a couple of days because you should always vet information before throwing it out there. Just because some random Twitter scooper says something generally doesn't mean it's real. You gotta wait a little bit. But there is a lot of truth to these wild rumors about certain characters appearing in Deadpool 3, which is freaking cool. So yo, what is freaking good YouTube? Wish you here if you are new around here. Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, Kaiju, pop culture based content that I try to cover on a daily basis. If you are new around here, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below how freaking excited are you about said cameos in Deadpool and Wolverine. And also, if you could bring any character with any actor into the MCU for a one-off role, because let's be honest, these are one-off roles, and let me know down below who it would be, and become a channel member for less than 99p and less than £1. It would help the channel massively. Also, check out the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice at Warstu on Instagram. Also, check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, aka x.com, WarstuG on there. So you've probably heard over the last few days, there was a report going around that Henry Cavill is playing Wolverine. Now, don't be tricked by certain YouTube titles going, Deadpool and Wolverine, Henry Cavill announcement. Bro, you got over 4 million subscribers and you're clickbaiting. Okay, let me get it straight. If this was an actual official publication, an official announcement, this would happen at San Diego Comic-Con. But they're not at Kevin Feige, Marvel would not officially say, yo, Henry Cavill's playing Wolverine. So get here. What are you doing? 4 million subs and you're clickbaiting with that. I mean, it's funny. It really is funny. So, over the years, Giant Freaking Robot used to have a very bad reputation. But recently, according to some of the best people who I talk to, they tell me that Giant Freaking Robot's actually pretty reliable now. And also, I've seen some of the receipts to do with this Henry Cavill story. So, yes, Henry Cavill will be appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine as a multiversal variant inside Deadpool 3. And it also goes far to say he will be wearing a long brown coat when he shows up. This will be Cavill's first appearance in the MCU. Don't be confused with Henry Cavill becoming the MCU version of Wolverine. That's not the case. But as soon as this story actually broke officially, I was like, okay, they're doing the Reed Richards, John Kay thing where they're actually doing the fan casting, which is pretty cool. But again, the rumors, he's been being Wolverine. He's been confirmed to be Wolverine on YouTube for literal years. If you go back, you'll see that everyone was confirming, yo, Henry Cavill. Back in the days when it was back in the Endgame days, people have been confirming this for the longest time ever. Don't get me wrong, if you're new to channel or if you're not new to channel, you know, yo, I'm a Henry Cavill fan and I want Henry Cavill to appear in every single movie. But I don't really think I don't think he's a Wolverine kind of character. So it goes on to say this certain source was right about the voice of Lilith with the Otter in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The story was then confirmed by James Gunn. So they have had pretty cool stories right before. Please note, Giant Freaking Robot editorial guidelines prohibit them from reporting information from unverified sources. It's only because the source has previously given us information that was correct. So yeah, and I've corroborated this with a bunch of people that I know behind the scenes, and it does appear that this is definitely true. Now, this has upset some fans, and I don't understand why, because this is a one-off role. If he's received very well, I'm sure Kevin Feige would try and get his pockets into Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill's busy with Warhammer 40,000 that he's doing. He's appearing in a bunch of other stuff, so does Henry Cavill have the commitment to actually be a feature role long-term in the MCU? I don't think so. Me being from England and being British, I don't give a Henry Cavill playing Captain Britain. I would rather him play Sentry, if I'm honest, but it is cool that this information turns out to be true, but it's just a cameo role. It's a one-off role in a multiversal plot, so don't expect Henry Cavill to actually be Wolverine going long term. Sure, he's got the hair. Sure, he can grow a real beard because he's British. Oh my god, did I just say that? Sure, he's already got a pretty cool physique. And it looked good. So the other report is going around, and I've had it verified with a really good source, in my opinion. Apparently, a variant of Wolverine, is going to be played by Daniel Radcliffe, who is You know, the Harry Potter, he's most famous, another British person, famously known for playing Harry Potter years ago when he was a child actor. I mean, we do see what somewhat that looks like Patch in the first official teaser trailer. So that's pretty cool. Yo, Brits are taking over. Calm down, lads, calm down. Although it does sound like that. So these two are verified. There's no point saying the source because I've had it vetted. So it appears to be true based on what I've been told. So that is pretty cool in itself. But then again, another fan casting. Daniel Radcliffe has been fan casted to be like a Wolverine variant for the longest time possible. I mean, again, that's probably a throwaway an appearance. But again, that's pretty cool. It seems like they are going to be doing a hell of a lot of changes during scheduled reshoots, which happens with every single movie in May. It's not really going to change the main story at all just because there's these characters appearing. But as we've always known, there will be multiple variances of Deadpool, multiple variances of Wolverine. Henry Cavill and Daniel Radcliffe being variants is pretty cool. You see in the last video we spoke about Lady Deadpool appearing, and a lot of people think it's going to be Blake Lively, aka the main star of Gossip Girl, or a lot of people also think it's going to be Taylor Swift. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one it is. I think if they did incorporate Taylor Swift somehow, it would be pretty cool. But in terms of these huge cameos, it's got to be X-Men, Fox Universe, and Fantastic Four Fox Universe level cameos. They're not going to throw random cameos in the movie for no reason outside of members of the Fantastic Four and members of the X-Men. So recently in the news, it's kind of a weird time for Marvel at the moment because it seems that every single huge actor all of a sudden is signed to Marvel, which realistically doesn't make any sense. Ryan Gosling is playing the Beyond. Okay, I made that last part up, but according to people on the internet, according to the Twitter sphere, Ryan Gosling's also signed with Marvel, but it's nothing to do with Deadpool 3. Lindsay Lohan is joining. I mean, I'm a big fan of Mean Girls, so I think she over in Hollywood. So if she is getting back at Marvel, good on her. She deserves it. I think she's a pretty cool actor. So we don't know. We don't know. You never know. And this is what makes me laugh when people put stuff like announcement in title. There's a difference from saying reveal, confirm, question mark to saying something announced. I mean, yeah, it does look very likely that Henry Drizzle is going to be playing a role in Deadpool 3. But to say it's been announced is absolute cap. So who could Ryan Gosling be playing in the MCU? I don't know, but it's he's quite trendy at the moment because of the whole Oscar performance. When he did his song, yeah, it was pretty good. Pretty funny. So it appears at the moment that every single big actor in Hollywood wants to work for Marvel again, which doesn't, I mean, it makes sense with Deadpool and Wolverine. But let's be honest, Marvel is still on a massive downward spiral of events in terms of their movies performing badly recently. And then Bob Drizzle comes out and says, it's not bad movies, it's just not quality movies, which is pretty much the same thing as saying bad movies. Now, it is interesting because the whole Ryan Gosling thing allegedly came from My Time to Shine. And if it did, then I'm less likely to believe it. But you know, worse things have been true. Ryan Gosling appearing sometime in the MCU. Cool. Disney has officially referred to the next Avengers film as Avengers 5. Well, it's always been Avengers 5. So you've probably seen recently that a bunch of people are trying to, capitalize off all the Deadpool and Wolverine information, going as far as saying they know what the post-credit scene is, which is interesting because when it comes to plot leaks for Deadpool 3, let's be honest, nobody knows anything. None of the plot leaks have been true thus far for some reason, and that's fascinating because usually whole plots leak and stuff on purpose to see what the response is, but for Deadpool 3, there doesn't really seem to be any validity to any leak because of the stuff they've been filming inside the studios, because you can't really get that information when they film inside a soundstage. You can't really get information like that when they film inside. So it is fascinating when people come out and say, yep, the Deadpool 3 post-credit scene is insane. And the same people that are posting this stuff on the Twitter sphere, they can't elaborate to what it is, but they're telling you there's some crazy post-credit scene. And I kind of questioned one of them, and I got blocked. Yeah, interesting. So, Cryptic HD said the following. So I'm hearing that some things have been put aside and aren't in the current cut of Deadpool and Wolverine so far. They are very pleased with what they are currently have and will be adding on in time. Currently, Deadpool and Wolverine sits at just over 2 hours. Other runtimes floating around are fake. Yo, Cryptic HD quality on the Twitter sphere. He doesn't miss. Literally everything he's told me or everything I've read from him has been bang on. So that, yeah, the movies just have to be as long as needed. I mean, if you've seen Dune Part 2, sorry, that movie is crazy long, but it felt like it was about an hour and a half. So a movie just has to be as long as it needs to be. But if you go back and look at the Deadpool rumors from Deadpool 3, they're actually wild because like, oh yes, Magneto's going to be having this massive fight against all the Avengers and all this crazy stuff, and it just makes me laugh with this Deadpool 3 stuff because it's like everything is game as long as it makes sense. Also in the news, you'll get an absolute nonsense like this. Marvel Studios is reportedly taking less risks and focusing on more guaranteed hits. Movies like Captain Marvel 3, Ant-Man 4 won't happen. So you're probably seeing like videos on YouTube and TikTok and everywhere all over the place going, yo, Captain Marvel 3, Ant-Man 4 cancelled. No, a movie has to be an active production. A movie has to be greenlit before it can get cancelled. Oh, of course this is courtesy of Daniel RBK. Of course I can't verify whether he said it or not. But no, Captain America 3 wasn't greenlit. It wasn't in active production. Ant-Man 4 was not greenlit. Something can't be cancelled if it wasn't actually in development, if it wasn't greenlit. They can't start work on a movie properly until something is greenlit. So stop falling for these Twitter scoopers nonsense just because they think they know what they're on about. Because if you see what most of these Twitter scoopers say when they try and comprehend what happens in a movie, you realize they don't actually understand what the freaking hell they're on about. Like, for real. And yeah, I get it. I know why people don't like me because I'm a bit full on. It's like, here, Eternals 2 is in production. Okay, cool. No one asked for it. Monica and Maria will not show up in Deadpool 3. Why would they? It literally makes no sense. Unless it's a post-credit scene. People thought they were in it after the credits in Marvel. No, what? That scene has actually confused a lot of people. And I don't understand why. Venom 3 will be last solo film. Venom movie, but Sony have plans for the character to be in other projects, and Feige is open to have him in Secret Wars. Yeah, you do realize that Sony owns the rights to all the Spider-Man characters, right? So if Sony says, right, we want Venom in an Avengers movie, they have to do it. Otherwise, they'll be like, yo, we're taking Spider-Man back. They can do that whenever they actually feel like. So I don't understand why people think that Kevin Feige has the power over who or what is done with certain characters. No, it's like you listen to Sony, you do what Sony wants, or you come to an understanding, or Marvel MCU won't have a Spider-Man anymore. It is that simple. So instead of doing 7 to 10 videos throughout this nonsense news that we've spoken about, I decided just to do one video. My time to shine. What do you got to say today? What nonsense you got to say today? Eternals 2 is not cancelled. It transformed into another project. Yeah, that's made up. Absolutely made up. So it's transformed into another project. What? The Eternal characters are going to appear in a different movie that is not the Eternals. So that would not make it an Eternals movie. We're getting Shang-Chi 2, which nobody asked for and nobody wants. Yeah, I'll get triggered when I say that. It's satire. I'm sarcastic. Lighten up. It's not that serious. So yeah, we've gone over the latest news in the Marvel MCU news in the world for like the past week or so. Instead of making 10 videos, we've done it in one. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face, find the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter, Warstu G, and I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch ya later.